Uh-huh. And we're live. Nice lighting. Good. Morning thoughts, morning thoughts, morning thoughts. Shout out to the people coming out to work this morning or going out to work this morning. Shout out to the people coming in from work this morning. Extra special big up. Shout out to the people who work multiple jobs. I have the utmost respect for you. Shout out to Sean Cassell. Sean Cassell said, "Morning fam, please hit the like button as you join the live." And I don't know why YouTube silenced his comment and put it on private, right? They have this feature on YouTube, right? If you say something in here that they deem derogatory, nobody will see it. You will think that people are seeing your comment, but your comment is going to a private part where only I can see it. I can choose to make it public, or I can choose to not make it public. If it's derogatory, I'll just leave it there. If it's disrespecting anybody, I'll just leave it there on quiet. But I don't know why they do that. I see that all the time. Kaitai Jai said something the other day that was not offensive at all, and they put her comment in private. But that's the way YouTube works, and I'm not YouTube. I only work with YouTube, right? So, finish the morning thoughts intro. Shout out to the progressive, productive, good-hearted, clean-hearted people just like that. We have a lot to cover this morning. I can tell you right now that about 8 pages. This is going to get very interesting. About 8 pages of notes that I diligently took yesterday while painstakingly watching this trial. I shouldn't even say painstakingly because it was rather riveting watching the trial of Andre Mcdonald, which is Beachy Stout's son. Those of y'all who already know or don't know, Beachy Stout is that prominent businessman out of Jamaica who is also incarcerated in Jamaica for the same thing that his son is incarcerated for in the United States of America. Again, I feel like me, I repeat myself. We're going to be repeating ourselves quite a bit because I am going to be following this all the way through to the end of this trial. Okay, I'm telling you right now, this ain't no slam dunk. It ain't what we thought it was going to be, right? And you have to pay attention. It was kind of painful yesterday watching the comment section, so I had to subtract myself and just listen and watch the trial itself. Because, people in the comment section, I don't know why I shared it. I shared the link and I said, come meet me over here and watch the trial. I never know that some Bugoyaga people did I go come over there. I don't know who this guy is. You know when Jamaicans get into it, we have with Bugoyagas and then we have with people who curious and want to know, so they ask valid questions. But then you have those that are just disruptive and disrespectful and all that. Them I go finger him in a body hole when him reaching a prison. And they kept filling the comment section with this type of stupidity. And I'm like, do y'all realize that this is not a Jamaican format that is broadcasting this? We should just be thankful, just be thankful so we're able to see the trial firsthand for ourselves and subscribe to the channel that is giving you that much for free and all these things. Man, they over there carrying on. And then there were some people who were over there lying their ass off. I don't know if they're sitting at home alone and they need company and they feel like if I get on here and I don't know, say stuff about myself, these grandiose things about myself, then people will gravitate towards me and start having a conversation with me. Some people sit down at them yard lonely. I don't have nobody to talk to and no friends. And then it was funny to see how people were following all this misinformation. Like the person that said in the comment section, oh, Andre is wealthy, a whole heap of money because he's a major in the Air Force. And I told y'all before. And I said to him, I said, wealthy because he's a major? And he replied, yes, SouFlo. Wealthy because I'm a major, I have a whole heap of money. Didn't I tell y'all before that no service member is paid enough to be wealthy? Officers are paid a bit more than enlisted people, but none of them are paid enough to be wealthy. They could seem wealthy because, the military provides housing and you don't have no bills to pay. A lot of us, if we didn't have any bills to pay, we would look like we were wealthy too, right? But other than that, but him I run me down. I said, okay, I'll go away. I've only served a decade or so, but I'll go away and just watch from the outside. And everybody is eating up the foolishness. Even the case, instead of just watching it, conversations are taking place in the comment section that are misleading what is actually happening People are going most off their emotions and not off what is factually being put forth inside of the courtroom, what is being argued and what decisions are being made in front of them. Them prefer argue with each other and go off each other's emotions and what John B said to Simone K. And also, that is it. That must be. They're telling you right there. Somebody just take my time. I'm gonna take my notes. I'm gonna listen good, and I got about 8 pages of it right here for you. So that's going to take up a major part of this morning. We have 3 stories this morning: the SSL fraud thing, Usain Bolt money, and the other people money. It's still trending. Things are getting deeper. Why? Because now the FBI has been summoned to join the search. Now, this is where it gets really, really interesting at. The FBI has been summoned to join the search. Now, on top of the FBI being summoned to join the search, it seems like there's a possibility that Bolt money might not have even had made it to SSL in the first place. But we're gonna get into all that. We're gonna get into all that. This rabbit hole just gets deeper and deeper. On top of that, now we're gonna talk about this young lady real quick that was found deceased at a resort in Jamaica, because some people did ask me, so Flo, you don't hear about the girl when it... So I'll cover that real quick and then we'll get into all the other meaty stuff, right? That's what we have for this morning. In the meantime, let me take about a minute to big up some people. It's about time the FBI get involved, says Julie Tapper. And Audrey Wright says, I felt it for her poor mom having to sit on that stand and relive the whole thing over again. We're going to get into all that. All right, so big up some people, then we go right into this. 416 people in here this morning, only 91 thumbs up. It's all good. I know how y'all do already. Some of you don't really care. You just come for the content. You don't even subscribe to the channel, but it's all right. We've been doing this long enough now, right? Hit the thumbs up button if you actually appreciate this and you came here for valuable information, or you feel like say, the channel is worth something. That me I talk about. It must be worth something because you're putting your time into it, unless you're a person who just put your time into foolishness. So Sharon Ingram Brickhouse, big up yourself. Thank you for being here. June O'Brien, thank you for being here. Sean Cassell, big up yourself, Sean. Respect to you every time. Sean says, morning, fam, and hit the like button as you join the live. That's one of the comments that YouTube silenced. I don't know why. The man I try help a situation. Anyhow, Guava 876, big up yourself. Roxy 21 is in the building. Roxanne McIntosh, I appreciate you being here. SDs, good morning, and thank you for being here. Ricky Reed, big up yourself. Wayne Nathan, big up yourself. By the way, my Miami people, I'll be in Miami this weekend for the whole weekend. So if you see me out the road, just say, SouFLo, and I'll respond accordingly. Right? Don't run up on me or nothing like that, though. Strap like mad people. All right? Wayne Nathan is in the building. Vicky Victor is here. Mr. Article Don, Lisa Watkins, Audrey Wright, Brummel Wright, King Biggs, morning fam. Elaine Brown is in the building. Sharon Spence is here. Mervyn the Point, Jamaica Kerr is in the building this morning. Carrie Ann Jones, Kishan Morgan. Karen Notice is in the building this morning. Dorothy T, big up yourself. Senior Sexy is in the building this morning. BM, Lady J. Devin Gale is here this morning. Maxine, good as gold. Virtuous Fire. When a man tell us say good as gold, you know, my girl, you don't know already, you know. Marcia Waters is in the building. Banches is here this morning. Donna Davis is here. Julie Tapper is here. Debbie Jervis, Nicole Coleman, Crystal G, Patsy Barrett is here. T95 South is in the building this morning. Says hitting the like button while coming it before committing. Or okay. Virtuous Fire. Big up yourself again. Thank you for being here. If I didn't call your name this morning, then you already know. but Audrey Wright says, I'm not Audrey Wright, but somebody say, yeah, them come over there with them ghetto mentality. I mean, I don't know. I'm a kind of person like this. I'm a walking billboard for Jamaica, you know what I'm saying? So I kind of feel like I have a responsibility to represent. I mean, I don't want nobody look for me and say it's because of me. Well, you see how he act. Yeah, that's how most of them act. No, if they look at me, they're not going to walk away thinking that we are all boogayagas. And at the end of the day, You have to live your life individually for yourself, but at the same time, you are a part of something that's way bigger than you are, whether you believe it or not. So, with that said, let's get into the first story of the morning. No more long talking. All right. A young lady was found at a hotel in Jamaica, right? Very pretty. If it's my daughter, I would be very disturbed about, I mean, I'm a daughter, but anybody would have been disturbed. But here's her face. So we like to put a face to these stories when we do these stories. We're doing this one because we're not going to spend any long time on it. It'll be short. Okay. Let me move my cup out of the way this morning. This is what y'all asked me about yesterday. Somebody said, SouFlo, how come you not talk about that one day? I'm only one person, fam. I can't talk about everything. There's so much that miss us that we have to wait to compile. And I was gonna go live yesterday. I put out on Instagram I was going live yesterday, and a couple of people said, yes, I'll see you there. And then we never go live because I start drop asleep at 7 o'clock when I said I was going to go live. Right? Give you an idea. I woke up at 3:30 this morning. I was in the gym by 4 and I was back home by 6. So that's to tell you. Put in my 2-hour workout. I'm tired already. Still haven't eaten breakfast yet. Because we have to do some fasting thing and then, get body right. They say summer bodies are made in the winter. So we're working on all that and we're trying to get fit. I'm trying to be in Miami this year with my shirt off. Back to the story, SouFlo. Anyhow, update. This is an update. The story broke. She was found at the hotel dead. It was a big thing. People are saying, Lord God, them are kill people in the all-inclusive, them now and all these other things. I didn't want to run it. I wanted to wait to see what the whole thing was. Who was with her? Was it foul play? Was it accidental? All this other stuff. Before my run come with mix up and don't know what I talk about. I don't like to be that person. See? All right. So published on Monday, January 23rd. By the Gleaner, no plagiarism. The police in St. James are probing the death of a woman who died at the hospital following a fall from a balcony at a hotel in Montego Bay, St. James on Sunday. Initially, somebody said the headlines, SouFlo, look, them find one foreigner, one American girl in a hotel dead at Jamaica. Cover it. I didn't see any headline that said such. I said, send me a link, no? No reply, no response. That's another reason I backed off the story. Anyhow, she has now been identified as just 25 years old. 25-year-old Sony Hewitt is her name, or Sonny Hewitt, S-O-N-Y, Sony Sonny Hewitt. The incident reportedly happened about 5:46 a.m. Them hours there. If you catch me at 5:46 a.m. and I'm in a resort, I'm probably drunk as butt and staggering sideways. And when you reach the door and you juki jam the keyhole, if a key I use, that I get like that. I do. I want life to live, and then I'll go detox. Right? All right. At these kind of hours, Hewitt checked into the hotel on Saturday night, which was her birthday. Video footage of her fall shows her walking out to the balcony on her own. It didn't say. Me, I wonder what kind of journalism are going in Gleaner and these things. It just says video footage of the fall shows her walking out to the balcony. Did it show her falling off the balcony or it just showed her walking out to the balcony? Did it show if there was anybody walking out to the balcony with her, or did it show anybody walk to the balcony before she went out to the balcony, or did any other video from the hotel show anybody with her entering the room with her? These kind of stuff. None of that is given. Just video footage of the fall shows her walking out to the balcony. And I also feel like it's funny how they don't even bother to mention what resort it was. Anyhow, according to highly placed sources, according to the Gleaner, according to highly placed sources, there was no indication of anyone behind her when she went over the balcony. Not according to video, according to highly placed sources. In other words, she was neither pushed and she didn't seem as if she jumped. How them ascertain all that? It seems as if she fell owing to the state that she was in. Okay. Um, she was transferred from the hotel by ambulance to the Cornwall Regional Hospital where she succumbed to the injuries. And the St. James police have said that the fatality is a case of misadventure. Hewitt is a former student of Edwin Allen High School. I don't know, say around my place, them there. And she is originally from Clarendon. That's my part. Now, if this was my child, I would want way more information than this. Was she alone? When she entered the room, when she came into the lobby of the hotel, when she went up to her room, what the camera show leading to her room? Did she enter that room by herself? All that other stuff. Funny comments. And which hotel it was. Why they won't say what hotel this happened at? The cover up is real. But okay, we're just going to take this and swallow it and move forward, right? Lorna V. Gray says, thinking out loud, alcohol may have played a part. And you're right, it might have played a part. Joyce says, why is the hotel not named? And I'm asking the same thing. Why didn't they just name the hotel? Joe Grind says, who did Joe Grind, Pussy Galore? Anybody seen Pussy Galore lately? I hope she's doing all right. Them near me, I see, man. Who did the check? Somebody says, who did she check into the hotel with? That person may have some answers as well. All these things, all that information is missing. Chapter 1 said, so sad. It could have perhaps been sleepwalking. A politician fell to his death years ago, same place there in a St. James, and the cause of his death was sleepwalking. That's what I'm telling you. But okay. Also, a hugely popular instrumental by Santo and Johnny. Don't know what that is. DDT says, I hope she was not trying to snap one for the gram, as some persons put their lives at risk just to take pictures. She's present. Big up yourself and thank you for being here, family. Thank you all for answering that question. So she was drunk and fell over, virtuous fire. I guess that's what they want us to believe, because death by misadventure, it could mean that she cock up one body drop on the balcony and she was doing one of these selfies right here, like trying, let me fix myself right so I could catch like I need the pool and down there in my background, but I'm on the umpteenth floor. And she's like, and okay, right here, and boom, I fall over. I don't know, but that's what death by misadventure would mean, right? No foul play involved. Well, I hope our family got way more information than just that. Well, she walked in, she fell over, death by misadventure. The end. Moving right along. Not if I did my picnic that. We would have to come with way more than that. And we would have to be way more transparent than this. I'm just saying. So again, be careful out there, y'all. I put a face to the name. And we look at Sonny Hewitt is sad because it was her 25th birthday. Young girl, not live life yet. She just arrived at adulthood. At 25, you just arrived at adulthood. This is where your frontal lobe is now, they said, scientifically fully developed, or at least almost fully developed, and you are now probably ready to adult. Gone. Just so. Death by misadventure. Moving right along. No, I don't buy it. I don't buy it. But that's what it is. See? So we say RIP, but we also say I hope her family get full disclosure and accurate information as to what happened to their loved one. See? Reggae Girl Bento says, I'm a relative of Andre by his dad's side, and we all are watching this from the start, and we break down relentlessly. We are hurting because my family knows his wife and her families. Reggae Girl Bento, I'm going to get into some information this morning, and I'm going to say to you before I even get into the information, it is not my intention to paint anybody in any kind of messed up way. It is not my intention to disrespect anybody. I'm the kind of person that gets right to the meat of the matter with no emotions involved when it comes to speaking factual information, and then after that I might get emotionally involved with my delivery of my commentary after the fact is delivered. All right, so work with me. And I told y'all before, this is a small world. This is a small world. And you see this place here? This place here? That's my place. I go there and I want to be able to always go there and always show this my face card. This my face card. This. Seeing, me no want to run up and down and hide from people because I use my platform to misinform and tear people down and ruin reputations and mash up families and all these things that me have to go hard. The world is very, very small. Who you do injustice to, you might think them the way up on the other side of the ocean, man, me good. Mm-mm. Two moves and you'll be right in front of them and y'all will be crossing paths. You'll be in the airport getting punched in your face and don't know why, right? Although I mean I kill people in there, but I'm just saying you don't know, and I don't want them kind of dramas to follow me. Even the people who I speak about, when I speak about them in a manner like using their ill deeds and mishaps as example to teach and show like we can do better and whatever, even when I run into them and their relatives, I still, yo, so from a rate, you know, dog. Well, I love the way how you do that delivery. That I'm a brother, I know, or I'm a sister, I know, and that. And I want to keep it just that way. All right. With that said, we're going to take her off the board right now, and then we're going to get into the Usain Bolt money thing, and we're going to be short with that as well, because the greater part of this morning is going to be covering that 8 pages that I have of notes of this Andre Mcdonald. I saw, man, that's all I can say. Man, I know where we think it is, people, and it's not. It's not going to go how we thought it was going to go. But we're getting to that still. All right, all right. So Usain Bolt's money is missing. Usain Bolt was just the face that brought this whole corruption thing to the forefront because he has a global platform, because he is a global icon and superstar. So, and because it was a whole lot of money. If you thief 20 something mil, or if you thief any millions in the US and you get caught, you're going to prison. We've seen people embezzle millions before, 2 million, 3 million, 5 million, and they're in prison in the US for 7 years. What you call it? A couple of people with the PPP loans and stuff, that even them never embezzled this much amount of money. And they got ridiculous times. And I'm talking about celebrities. If you follow the other channel, Hot Topics TV, I've covered quite a few celebrities who have been convicted of thieving money and they're going to prison. Most lately, it's a popular couple who I always thought the husband was like bi or something like that. But that's for a whole another story. A Caucasian couple out of Atlanta, I believe, right? Todd and Chrisley. Okay, you see how much time them get? You see how much time they got, right? So this is actually a serious crime. It is. And in the US, they give out enough time for this, whereas in Jamaica, it seems like there really is no accountability and people can actually do this, that fake sick, and then walk and get away with it. I told y'all, look at Messi Masado. She thief for how much millions from Movado, right? And now they're trying to trap Movado in a, we're going to walk with your money. You're going to see a yard and can't come out. And we're not going to give back your money. We want you here. And these kind of things. I don't know how the Movado situation is going to go, but she admitted to thieving his money and she's still walking road. And her bail just got extended again. And it's been going on like forever. And first, I tell you, she pull a trick, drink up some something, go in the courtroom, boo-boo up herself. Them said, damn, she's extremely ill. And then even her husband, and I didn't know her husband was being prosecuted as well. He's on bail too. His bail just got extended again. So it's like you can do these things in Jamaica and then get away with it as long as you come up with some kind of good plan that really works. Whereas here in the US, if you do something like that, they don't care if you shit up yourself in court. You're going to be shitting up yourself in jail because they have medical facilities inside of the prisons there that will gladly try to take care of you, however, and dispense you all kind of medication and something, right? All right. They've called upon the FBI. They've called upon the FBI, and now things get crazy because when the FBI gets involved, right? The FBI has no dog in the fight. There's two things about the FBI. One, they do not like to seem incompetent, and two, that's a well-oiled machine. When they get in it, they get in it. And if they do get involved, we are going to see a whole lot of stuff unraveled. Holy name are gonna come out that wasn't meant to come out. And I told y'all before, I said, sit back and observe the type of investigation that is going on in Jamaica. This is why things can better. Because how are you tracing years of fraud and moving people money around and thieving people money? The lady specifically told you what she did. She said, I used to take it from one account, put it in a next account. That means she's doctoring up the account. It's a Ponzi scheme, making fake paperwork and then showing it to the clients. I'm over here thinking my $1 million I have over there is good. I'm going to go in and check, make sure everything is all right. I set my date and I say, hey, it's SouFLo. Yeah, I'll be there January 29th. Okay, we can meet then, 7 p.m. or 6 a.m., wherever. Me dede, me show up. They're already planning, okay, he's coming in then. So we're going to take the money from, say, Ray George account, put it in SouFLo's account, make paperwork look this way. Okay, good. And then show it to him when he comes in. As soon as he leaves, who else is coming in? Okay, move that money back over here and put it in that account. Doctor those paperwork, fake date, pad the paperwork and everything. Show it to him. Okay, that looks good. All that is going to, and moves like those cannot happen in financial institutions without the heads knowing about it. Can't. But it always seems like the heads are able to say, hey, I didn't know nothing about nothing. It's the damn workers. They're thieves. We're going to fire them. And me, I'm out of here. Ready up my pension paperwork, please. I'm retiring or I'm resigning. And they're out of there and they're good. So with the FBI coming in, I think there will be a level of accountability here that has never been seen before, right? The message was sent loud and clear. Loud and clear, right, Tasso? He said,
the Jamaican financial sector to the next level, the government of Jamaica will review the penalty regimes in the Securities Act, the Banking Act, the Insurance Act, and the Pensions Act. We will stiffen the penalties for white-collar crime in the financial sector. The discrepancy between the sanctions for white-collar crime and other forms of crime must be erased. If you rob depositors or you defraud investors, our society, and you put our financial system and our way of life at risk, the Jamaican society wants you put away for a long time. A long, long time.
yeah, lot of big talk, but if there's no outside entity, and you notice how they change up the laws. All right, gun. If you get caught with gun, as long as it didn't come from the FLA, 15 years is the minimum we're gonna be start at. The other day, I nearly dropped out of my chair as I opened the news and saw a prominent attorney's husband caught with illegal gun. Is this prominent attorney's husband going to do 15 years at a minimum? I wait to see. What the next one? When them change up, they change the laws accordingly, and then it fits regular Jamaicans, but it don't fit some kind of people when their pants catch on fire. You know what I'm saying? And watching him say this, it was actually like a Mavado post this enough. Mavado posted this. Dancehall artist Mavado posted this. See that? I'm over here on Mavado's IG. I don't know if you can see, but I'm Mavado post this. Anyhow, starting with, and Mavado says, starting with Masado. we looking, and the next thing, if them never take away fast foot money, it wouldn't get to this. In other words, him call fast foot, Usain fast foot. If them never take away Usain money, it wouldn't get to this. Them take away the money, nothing happened. So how appropriate that he would post this or repost this. Watching this man though say this, he actually almost did a smirk when he said it. If you look at his face close when he said it, he actually almost did a smirk. Because of them and them cronies that are thieving out the money. So for them to come talk about we need stiffer penalties. We need stiffer penalties for white collar crime, and the society of Jamaica wants you put away for. Sir, the society of Jamaica wants a whole heap of things we never give it yet. And we still there ask for them from God know when, and we still not get them. But here is where he actually said,
the Prime Minister has said,
there
will be full transparency in this matter. No stone will be left unturned. The investigative authorities have full operational independence and will pursue the facts wherever they may lead. They will unearth exactly how funds were allegedly stolen, who benefited from such theft, and who organized and collaborated in this. The probe will also seek to identify whether assets have been acquired with these proceeds of this fraud, whether here in Jamaica or overseas. If and when such assets are identified, all legal steps will be taken to restrain these assets with intention of full forfeiture. Having spoken with some of those leading the investigation, I can say that they are resolute and determined to unravel its complexities and bring all responsible to justice. In fact, based on the magnitude of this fraud and the lines of inquiry being pursued, the Financial Investigations Division and the Fraud Squad have already, last week, sought assistance from the Federal Bureau of Investigations, the F.B.I, and other international partners. Ladies and gentlemen, despite this most unfortunate development, Jamaica's financial sector remains strong. There are, within the financial sector, we have the banking sector, the securities dealer sector, pensions. The Honorable Prime Minister has said.
All right. So, with the FBI coming in, they will unearth who took the money, when the money was taken, where and how the money was spent, to include even if assets were bought with this money overseas, not just in Jamaica. And everything will be made full and transparent on front page, and the whole goal will also be to forfeit all these assets, to get back some of this money, to return the monies to the people who the money was stolen from. The part that I want you to pay attention to, I'm not answer the phone yet. The part that I want you to pay attention to is that Usain Bolt money might not have actually made it to SSL. You heard what I just said, right? So picture this. The question now is, because Usain and one of his financial managers or something like that just broke up in December of 2022. This happened in January of 2023. I mean, I wonder what was the cause of their split. See? Now, did members of Usain Bolt's own team side with such people from such institution to defraud him? Let me walk you through how this is possible. Yes, Bolt, I could put the money in a SSL. Them have a good thing going over there. Bolt is worth 90 something to almost 100 million US dollars. He says, a good pension scheme that's still enough. I'm a trust you, so all right. Hey, see that money here. Put that 12.7 million US dollar in there for me. I trust you. Brother man takes it, goes over to SSL and says, my girl, me you can chop out a piece of money, I know, but because you put it up on the inside. So what you are going to do now is you are going to doct up the paperwork and make a shell account that don't really exist. So every time him come in with them other people them, and them come do a sit down and look, you have to have the books balance and everything good to show him, right? Money was never invested. Hypothetically speaking, I'm just saying allegedly and all these things, right? This is how it could be possible, because the question is being asked, did that money ever even make it into SSL in the first place? Remember the lady said sometimes she would put the copy and paste the people them email and information into paperwork, send it up to higher for approval, and then she specifically said, say for instance, the person wanted to withdraw $1 million. She would put that they wanted to withdraw 2 million, and then she would get approved from higher up, and then she would take out the 2 million, and then she would take one for her, and then she would give one to you because you come to take one out of your own account. She said that, right? So the possibility that she was working there and that money didn't even make it into SSL could very, very much be real. However, here's the thing. She also said, I fleeced over 40 people, right? This is my list of clients. Usain Bolt was never on my list. Watch out. She fleeced over 40 people. I Usain Bolt thing, them I run from, you know. She fleeced over, she admitted, hey, I'm going to come clean. I'm going to tell you everything, my tea from the people, them. But Bolt was not on my list. I never managed his account. All right. This man right there, so, who we spoke about yesterday, right? Who was once at the helm, the spearhead, the big man up top, who eventually left the company, but was there at the time when that money was put in. You know what he said? He said, they have meetings on a regular basis, meetings to discuss strategies and stuff, meeting to talk about their investors, different accounts, to look over and review different accounts. Okay, so at this meeting today, then we're going to discuss Usain Bolt's account. At this meeting today, we're going to discuss Andrew Holness's account, right? And how much he has in there and what we're doing with his money to make sure that there is an increase, that he's making a profit, and we're also making a profit as well, right? Never, not once in the years that I was there did I ever hear Usain Bolt name come up in any of these strategy meetings. Now, I said to you before, Usain Bolt, the global icon, Usain Bolt, the big superstar global icon, could not have been invested in your company, and the people at the top don't know that that's your biggest client, because they released a list yesterday of big entities that were invested in SSL, and Usain did have more money in there than most of them, and the other ones were like banks and other financial institutions. So that man money was so long and so much. If I put 12.7 million US dollars, 2 point something billion Jamaican dollars into your business, the people up top know. So for him to say, I know that alone he's saying, but for him to say, matter of fact, come to think about it, never, not even once. I didn't even know he had an account here. Ross, I didn't even know he had an account here. How come his name never come up in and none of the meeting them? Okay. You see the lady will confess, but she said Bolt wasn't hers. That same man himself, from good sources inside of the company, he says, I know Bolt and I know him socially. That means see him, heal him up at different functions, You know, they are upper echelon people. Him alone have like 500 and something or 50 something thousand shares in another one company. But anyhow, they're the upper echelon people and both rubs elbows with upper echelon people. So they go to these events and whatever, and you know, yo, hey, Bolt, wagwan, and everything good. Yes, man, big up yourself and thing. I know him socially. I would have known if he had an account there. But what I've heard is that Bolt's people only dealt with one person at SSL. Bolt's people only dealt with one person at SSL, is what he said. And guess who the one person is? The same woman we said, I fleeced over 40 of my clients. I'm sorry. I had a lot of shit going on in my life. It was rough out here for a girl. Daddy was sick. Brother was losing his mind. Mama had to run for her life. This, that, and the other. Corona liquid. My income gone. Had to maintain lifestyle. But I never took more money and I never managed any account for him. The man that say she are the only person that his team dealt with there. What do you see happening here? What do you see happening here? So yeah, the possibility that that money actually probably never even made it there and he was looking at a dummy account all these years could probably even be realer than real. I'm just saying. But that is where we're at. So, yes, I'm glad when me hear them say the FBI has been contacted and asked to join the investigation into this because I know how the FBI move. They will definitely get to the bottom of this. I don't know if they accepted the challenge though, or if they accepted the invitation. It says that they have been sourced and asked to. It never said they accepted and they are now involved. So I'm waiting for that part to hear where them say the FBI upon this. No, they're in the case. They've taken over. They're working this. That part. Before we change topic and get into this 8 page or something, yeah, let me finish this part by saying this. I said it from the beginning. Watch how this play out, though. Watch how this play out. Anyhow, moving right along, let's get into the meaty stuff. Blame game again. Marcia Waters. Yeah, they're gonna accept them nosy enough. They're gonna accept it's a global icon. It's Usain Bolt. Usain Bolt have money invested everywhere. Y'all never seen the Bolt scooters that they have in Europe? Remember, I know the man have tracks and records, restaurant he has it in the UK, he has it in Jamaica. He have business ventures in the US. He has business ventures for sure. I know in the UK and in Jamaica and in other parts of Europe that don't really speak English and these kind of thing. Like his portfolio is pretty diversified. He's Usain Bolt. He's and a small money the man a chop, and he's not chopping either. It's not small money he's playing with. The FBI would gladly get involved, I think. I'm hoping that they actually really do get involved because the thing needs to turn over. And I see the investigation going on in Jamaica, and I said it to you guys. I said, why are they only raiding one person's house or apartment and searching that? Did they lock down all the computers, freeze all of the computers at that company? Did they go to any of the homes of the CEOs or the account managers other than that one person and search up for them place and seize their personal computers and phones and electronic devices and stuff like that? None of that never gone. So a proper investigation wasn't being done. Because if you notice, when the FBI does that, they normally come out of a building with boxes and boxes. They might take everything in there. All your little love letter about I love you, I was going to meet you on Friday, but I sent this money instead. Oop, we need that. Because we need to know what money that was you sent in this little love letter. Everything gone in our box and out the door. Yes, Kaitaja Empress, Usain Bolt's net worth is almost 100 million US dollars. The average Jamaican, and again, let me say big up to Usain because him never big up and beat him chest and go on like he's ever better than any Jamaican. And you know, you see some Jamaican where barely make some money and them act like them better than everybody, you know. And this man, look at his net worth. And if you catch him out the road, he's a regular dude. And him act like a regular dude. He's literally accomplishing huge things behind the scenes and then just carry himself like a normal person. Him not boast and brag and act like he's better than. If anything, Bolt never forgot where he came from, and to a sharp degree, he is still that dude. He is still that guy. So with that, I hate the fact that that was done to him in Jamaica. Humble man, real humble, and I think the universe works a certain kind of way. That level of humbleness is always rewarded greatly. You know what I'm saying? And I guess he got that. He got that. So, with that said, yeah, he is a treasure. Absolutely a treasure. Could you think if Usain Bolt had said to himself, because don't think they didn't try. Don't think that foreign entities didn't say, well, we have the contract ready, Mr. Bolt. It's $100 million to start, and then the rest will be paid over time and whatever. All we need you to do is change uniforms. Come run for us. Earn those gold medals and that legacy while flying our flag. Him said, no, win or lose at Jamaica, me say. You think they didn't turn down a whole heap? It's the same thing that Asafa Powell was saying the other day. Like a lot of Jamaicans act like, and them are not nothing. And y'all don't know the amount of money them people that turned down. Shelley and Fraser Price, Asafa Powell, Sherika Jackson, Elaine Thompson Hara. They're not regular people. But them humble themselves and they say to us, man, just like Unuman, here to motivate the children here. Tell them all the time about their humble beginnings. Show them, stay with them, don't leave them. Show them you can be great in your own land. Hard work, navigate this thing skillfully, stay away from foolishness, work hard, better will come. Dedicate yourself. They are national treasures for real, for real. And I said it before, and I'm going to say it again. They're God blessed because they're talented as hell. They're natural talent and skills. And then them work hard. Them work ethics is something serious to be admired. And we say hard work, and productivity and progress. That's how them do. So it's sad to see them doing like that. And I told you before, if Usain Bolt ever gets on the international stage and say, don't ever invest in Jamaica again, half of their money gone. But he will never do that because he loves Jamaica too much. With that said, we're moving right along now to this. Boy. So Beachy Stout, the father of Andre Mcdonald. His trial will start in September of this year. For those of you who are wondering, because I see people yesterday in our comment section, I told you there was so much misinformation there. I see how people are easily misinformed because they go around believing what some random person says in our comment section somewhere. His trial will start September of this year. His son trial has already started. Bear with me as I take you through these notes because I'm going to elaborate here and there. I was jotting as they were talking. All right. I can tell you straight off the bat that his lawyer's intention now is to paint a picture that her death Andrine's death was accidental from a mutual fight. A mutual fight. They were in a conversation, it got heated, they started fighting each other. They also painted the picture of Andrine being an aggressor because she was the type to run up in his face. She was the type to finger in his face. She was the type to suck your mother, dirty boy. You stink like what? I feel me money most of this. You can't tell me nothing. She was the type to be derogatory towards him. She had that energy. That's the picture that was painted. Now I'm gonna walk with me now. Come, I'm gonna show you how them actually his defense. They won that yesterday to me. See? Because remember, we walked into this as this clean cut, well educated, highly driven, intelligent, dedicated individual who was accomplishing so much was suddenly taken out by a jealous husband. That's not the narrative that was flipped in court yesterday, day one of this trial. Page one, my number, my pages, them and everything. He was searching. His lawyer got into court, and his lawyer opening the first person who got in was the prosecution. So the prosecution's opening statements had me like, wow. BM, if you stick around, you will hear all that. I'm gonna answer all that for you. Why him dump the body and everything. All right. So he comes in and he says, Andre's phone was confiscated. Andre searched over 100 times on his phone. How long does it take for a human body to decompose, and what state, how to make it decompose, accelerate decomposition, and all these other things. That right there is part of the stuff that should be used against him. Her sister takes the stand. Her sister takes the stand, and some people were like, that's her mother. Her mother came later. Her sister was the one with the red head wrap takes the stand. Her sister was supposed to be the bullet in the gun. I say, yes, everything gone now. No, her sister was seemed like she was afraid, or she was shy. She was afraid, shy, and ashamed. All three. Her body language says, she was nervous, she was shaking. She kept saying, Jesus, 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 Jesus. Head down, not too looking in Andre's direction. The camera pan around. Andre was looking stoic. He had no emotions on his face, really. He was just staring straight over where she there. Now, one could look at that as a very intimidating look. Like, remember, some my links them big. My reach far and wide. Watch what I say. I can warn you without saying a word, right? So we don't know if all that played a part, but this is what I read from her body language. Then when she started to testify, she just frig up the whole thing. Yeah, because every time they hit on anything that had to do with her sister, Andrine, she would pause for a long time. Everything else she answered straight off the bat. But when it hit on any question that would make Andrine seem like not a good person, she would pause for a long time and be very careful before she answered. It was as if, okay, I have to see how I'm going to spin this now because I can't make my sister look bad, but I'm under oath, so I can't lie here. America don't play. You get on that stand and they find out later that you were lying under oath. Yeah, that's going to prison too, right? All right. He called. Andre called she from a number she never seen before. She said she didn't recognize the number at first, or she didn't recognize his voice on the phone either. And people are going to say, how come you don't recognize his voice when you heard his voice all the time? She was like, I just didn't recognize his voice at first. How did you know it was him then? He told me. Okay. In that phone call, how long did y'all spend on the phone? She said 41 minutes. And it's recorded and it's documented. The conversation was 41 minutes. See, this ain't Jamaica. We have to go beg them and can I have your phone? Can I get into your phone? No, once murder is involved, my friend, them go straight to the people who and everybody needs to know this. Whatever conversation you've ever had on your phone, whatever like a sneaky link messages you send and everything, it's all out there in the clouds. It's captured and it's stored. It just takes one serious event for them to reel all that back out and play it out right in front of you, right? So they asked her, what did y'all talk about for 41 minutes? She said Andre called her and he said to get mommy. That's her mother. What do you want you to get mommy for? Because he was going to give us the full story of what happened to my sister. Why would he want to do that now? Because all along he's been saying, him not have nothing to do with our disappearance. He gave a full confession. It's recorded to her and the mother. The full confession, he said, he did it because he didn't want them to find out all this information when they went to court. He wanted them to hear it from him. And he thought he respected them enough, feel like they needed to hear all this straight from him. All right? He told her and he told her mother that they got into an altercation. He found out that Andreen was robbing him. And he found out that Andreen was moving assets from businesses that they owned together into a business that she had just LLC'd for herself. That way he would have no access to that, right? So I feel like she robbed him. Now, a lot of us are under the impression that, oh, she was this girl and she owned two of them thing there and she opened a next one and she was just moving up fast and this man has no money and all that. Let me clear up. They were married for 9 years up until the point of her disappearance. 9 years, 1 year short of a decade. He was as invested in those businesses as she was. Of course, those were her interests. So she did the work, right? Paperwork shows the businesses were owned by him and her, not just her. So people are saying, yo, am I trying to thief for the girl money and him jealous because she got... No. The businesses were owned. These are information that came out in court. The businesses were owned by him and her. They had 3 of those long-term care facilities or assisted living facilities. 3. We thought it was 2. They had 3 of them up and running, and they were about to open a 4th one. And Andreen was opening LLC and another business on her own and taking resources from the business that they own together and putting it, stashing those over there with his name not on it. Now his name is on everything else. So what does this paint in a court? It paints deception. It paints deception. Your wife is being deceptive, right? I seen somebody said yesterday in the comment section, the little girl talked to me all the time. And somebody asked them how the prosecution just said she's autistic and nonverbal, which is what I've told you. The person come back and say, No, non-verbal doesn't mean she can't talk. It just means she only talk to certain people. You see why I mustn't listen to everybody? But me not tell you who to listen to still. The word non-verbal, the phrase non-verbal itself is self-explanatory. Non-verbal. But anyhow, I see somebody in the comment section about actually SouFlo, I know them. And the little girl speaks fluently and she goes to school and she does very well. When I watched the case yesterday, when I hear the school teacher talk about the little girl. All right. Anyhow, the man, when him tell the mother and the sister what him do to her, the part that got me, he said Andrew got up in his face and blah 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 and I disrespect him. And first he walked it out. Him left the house, him go outside, go cool off, no do nothing. Him saying come back into the house because they're arguing about what he just found out. That she's fleecing money and putting it somewhere else, right? On top of other things, we are getting to the other things. So him try walk it out, him go to the door, him come back in. Him come back in, she start up again, in him face again. All the cussing and the dirty boy and all this again. He struck her. He struck her. I don't know if she strike him first or him lick her back. They asked the sister, you think Andreen would be the type to, physically have a physical altercation with him? The sister pretty much basically said yes. That wasn't a win for painting a picture of her. That wasn't a win. So his story is he struck her, she fell. He stomped her in the middle of a fight, right? I'm fighting you, you fighting me back, we fighting, I hit you, you fall. I'm stomping you out. He stomps her till she starts wheezing. She's gasping for air. So what did he say happened then? And tell them, in detail, So what did he say happened then? He said he took the little girl upstairs and put her to bed. And when he came back downstairs, Andreen was dead. Where did he tell you that he stomped her at? She said, I don't know. I think he said like on her head or her neck or whatever. They're trying to get to how she died. So I'm come back downstairs. It's a heated argument that turned into a fight from a toxic relationship between two toxic people. And you could see how this is being painted now. Okay. A heated argument that turned into a fight between two toxic people. I got struck. I hit back. She fell in the heat of the fight, adrenaline rushing. I stomped her. I left her. I took my daughter upstairs. I didn't want her to see this. That tells me that the little girl was there witnessing everything. Took her upstairs. Came back downstairs. Wifey was on the ground, not breathing. I panicked. I was like, oh shit. Babe, wake up. Wake up. Jesus Christ. What am I going to do? That's the picture that's being painted, right? What did he say he did after that? They're asking. Well, he said he stripped her body. He packed her up and he disposed of her in a field somewhere and he burnt the clothes that she was wearing. So you see, when her friend and her co-worker got to the house and they said there was something burning in the back. Right there. It corroborates the story. It says to the court that he did an awful thing, but it was in the heat of a heated argument from a toxic spouse, his ass being toxic too, a toxic relationship that went all the way wrong. He panicked Instead, started trying to cover stuff up. What his defense is getting away from is this was not premeditated murder. If they can prove premeditated murder, he can get the death penalty. Or he can get life in prison without the possibility of parole. Things gone bad already. There's no way you're not going to do prison time for this. So a good attorney is going to tell you, cop a plea to this. We're going to start off by you calling them, doing a full confession, and this is how you're going to lay it out. See? You panicked. The narrative of him finding out that she had a man in Jamaica, we're going to get to that. We're going to get to that. All right. So basically, for me, what I saw yesterday was they took death penalty off the table. They also took life without the possibility of parole off the table. That's a win already for his defense. I know a lot of people are invested now emotionally, and a lot of women are triggered because me done been through them thing they already, man, beat me up. Me want to see a win for the woman's side. If you go in there, at least get life without ain't gonna come out like that. It ain't gonna come out like that. 9 years married. They had marital trouble. Of those 9 years they were married, it was revealed in court that they had marital trouble for several of those 9 years. It wasn't bad enough for you to leave, Miss Strong and Independent, but it was bad. Bad enough for everybody to know about it that was close to them. They were fighting over financial control of the business. His attorney, the prosecution also said, me not take no call, me I go right in. The prosecution, because this is long. The prosecution also said she rekindled flames with a past flame. In other words, all fire stick catch up again, right? Her mom lived at their house. Her mom also worked with her. She was her mom's boss. So if they are foreign big things are going for you, you open these businesses, it's only right to put mama on payroll, right? Hey mom, you're certified RN, LPN, CNA, whatever. Come work on one of the facility them, and at the same time you can oversee stuff at the night shift when you may get some rest, and then I'll be there in the day or whatever else. You can earn a whole income for yourself. We'll pay you handsomely. We're making good money over here. Makes sense. Her mom works at the business as well. Andrine LLC'd another business and left him off of it. This caused the argument weeks leading up to her death. Also, weeks leading up to her death, they weren't even sleeping in the same room in the house. They slept on two different sides of the house. Never acted. Shakira! I mean, you think a regular thing this, but they slept on two sides of the house. Her assistant, Judy, called Carol, Andrine, her bestie. She was worried. She said, Andrine suffers from debilitating headaches. Headaches that are so bad, migraines so bad, she would have to put herself in a closet, turn off all lights, and have no noise so she can have no sensory input in order to calm those headaches that she was suffering from. On top of that, she was a workaholic, you know, and she never missed a phone call. She was like that dependable. And she worked out almost every day at a CrossFit gym. Their days started real early, 3:30, 4 o'clock in the morning, that type of stuff. She said when Andrine didn't show up and she called her and she didn't respond, she thought that's not normal. because at these long-term care facilities or these assisted living facilities, sometimes you need an answer right away from management, and she was always accessible. It could be midnight. She was always accessible. So she thought maybe it's a medical issue because she know that she suffered from these headaches. So she said, let me go by the house and check. She grabbed another person, an employee, and they went over to the house. When they went over to the house, they saw Andre, and he was on his way out. But when he saw them rolling up to the driveway, she said he was walking first, and then when he seen us, he ran to his car. And we asked, where's Andrine? Where you going? He said, she in the hospital. I'm going to go check. They talked about the Porsche, the Jaguar, the Audi, and the work vehicle. There was 4 vehicles at that house. They had a Porsche. The Porsche belonged to Andre. There was a Jaguar. There was an Audi. And then there was a work vehicle. The Audi and the work vehicle were seized by investigators. The Porsche and the Audi the Porsche and the Jaguar were left at the house. Axe, a hatchet, shovel, gloves, heavy-duty industrial garbage bags, 2 5-gallon gasoline pans. Those were on the list. Those were seen in one of the vehicles, in the back of one of the vehicles, which was the Porsche, which was his vehicle. They also said that one of his commanding officers went to go check on him, and the commanding officer relayed and said, I saw injuries on his hands. I asked him about it, and he said something about the garage door and something. After he move on comeback, the garage door got damaged. The garage door was so badly damaged that he couldn't get it up again to get the same vehicle out. So he took another vehicle. When they went into the house first, they searched. Law enforcement searched. There was a particular garbage can. They searched the garbage can and they documented nothing was in it. They came back the next day. They searched again. The next day, in the same garbage can that they searched before and there was nothing in it, they found clothing, a flashlight that still works, a hammer with blood on it, and a pair of shoes. This is a can they searched already from yesterday, and there was nothing in it. Today, garbage bag in it with all these items, a hammer with blood. A hammer with blood does not match his story. He stumped her. And when he came back down from putting the baby to bed, she was dead. She wasn't breathing. A hammer with blood on it. And all the stuff he was trying to get rid of, right? Over the place where, because they asked the sister, so what did he tell you he did with the body? She said, I don't remember. He said he dumped it over somewhere, or I don't remember if he said he buried it or if him just dump it, or I don't, but he disposed of it. He said right where it was found. The landowner over there where he dropped the body, they had not been to that property in almost a year. And he knew that they stayed away from that property quite often for extended periods of time. It was them who decided to go out to their property And when they went out to their property, you got to think this is in the wild backlands of Texas, right? So you got all kinds of animals out there running wild. Um, Cows get attacked all the time, and some of the cows get killed by wild animals and eaten out there on the land. So they said that when they went out there, they found a pile with cow bones, but over where the cow bones were, they also saw what looked like human bones as well. Forensics were called in, the police was notified. It turns out that that was Andreen. So wherever he buried her, the grave was very shallow on the people property. Some kind of animal dig it up and started spreading the bones. And the bones got mixed up with some cow bones that were there. And they were able to take the cow bones away from the human bones, and they did DNA, and it was positively identified to be Andreen. It was also the same DNA that was used to cross-examine with the DNA that was with the blood that her friend said when she walked in the house and she saw the hair and the blood on the light switch. That same thing there, match. They also said that they can tell that her ribs were broken, her spinal cord was fractured, and she was set on fire while she still had skin on her, while her body was still intact. His defense is he panicked, didn't know what to do. Thought getting rid of her and then saying, I don't know where she went was the best thing. He has an attorney named John Convery or something like that. John Convery. And I put in my notes that John Convery was going to send him to prison. But not murder. He said it was a mutual flight. He said, if anything, my client should be charged with negligence and irresponsibility, but not murder, not malice murder. Cindy comes up to testify. She also goes by Marie. Andreen is her sister. She nervous, she praying. Jesus, 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 like I told y'all before. When I walk with me on the notes, a bit all over the place, but I'll put it in perspective for you. His demeanor, as the sister testified, I'm watching as the sister testified. He looks like he gives no cares. Now, I could chalk that up to maybe him being military personnel and we're trained a certain way. And given the amount of time he's been in service, some things that make civilians squirmish or really emotional, we might look like we don't even care about it or it's not a big deal. So we internalize things and deal with them inside without showing it on the face a lot, right? But that's the message that was sent watching him in the courtroom. At times, I even thought I saw a little smirk. I mean, did I said to myself, say, that man has a smirk right now? The woman up there, nervous, looked like she could barely talk. You smirking? That was just me. Maybe I'm reading into it too much or whatever. Anyhow, he was expressionless the whole time. Apart from when it looked like the smirk was coming out and he had to wipe it back off. And he was looking at her and she was looking down and very much trying to avoid looking that way. I told you the part about how he called them and they spoke for 41 minutes already and he confessed everything. And he found out that the business that she was trying to open in her name, she was stealing from him. He said that he confronted her. She began cussing him. He left, went outside, came back. She kept arguing, cussing. He was trying to ignore her. She kept coming up in his face, saying terrible things to him. He said he pushed her and she fell to the ground and she was still trying to fight and he started stomping her and their daughter was there seeing it. She was 8 years old, nonverbal autistic. She began wheezing. That's Wifey. He left her there wheezing, took the child upstairs. Boom. Come back down, realize she's dead. Then took her clothes off, burnt it, put her in a car and took her somewhere. My note says that was no confession. That was him fixing the story. the way that would make him look like it was not premeditated. See? All right. Page 4 with it. Said that he was going to chop up the body, but him changed his mind. That's what he told the mom and the sister. He said, I was gonna chop up the body, but I changed my mind. In other words, a good attorney is gonna say, put all that in there because it shows that you still have some human something about you. You're not a beast. You're not an animal. And you did love her. You even cared about her corpse, how to dispose it. I was gonna chop up the body and get rid of it, but I changed my mind. That's what she said. That's what he said to them. And it's recorded. Admits that that was her hair and her blood on the light switch. He admitted that. But that was already found. And last week him call her, you know. So nobody feel like he called her a long time ago and was confessing. He called her right before they went to court, right before trial started. That's what makes me feel like an attorney walked him into that. So he admitted to the sister that, yes, what you saw, the blood on the light switch and the hair, that was hers. How the hell would her hair and blood get on the light switch? In the bathroom. If the fight started in the living room and right there where they found her is where you claim the fight was, and she dropped there, so, and you stomped her there, so. How did her hair and blood get in the bathroom? So that fighter looked like it did not go all over the house. It looked like she was being dragged. But his attorneys are working hard. That's why I'm telling us that this ain't gonna be no easy nothing. The sauce still not upon this yet, no wait. Stomped her on her neck, left her wheezing, gasping for air, struggling to breathe. Andre used to this part where the sister, you know, they asked her, they said, was your sister Andreen ever disrespectful to your mom? Like, did she ever get angry at mom? Did she ever get loud at mom? You know, like when, because mom is an employee, and when mom wasn't doing things right at the facility, and you know she was probably overworked and whatever, did she ever like come off disrespectful to your mom and whatever? The sister said yes, yes, but everybody has a temper, she said. No, Miguel, wrong answer. Everybody don't have a temper. But she said, yes, but everybody has a temper. So right away, she's painted as that person, you know, that A-list, that A-type personality kind of person. Fix it and fix it now. Mom, I don't give a fuck. I don't care if you're my mother. That? Okay. They asked him, these arguments between mom and Andreen, they would happen when Andre was around, right? She said yes, sometimes. Um, did Andre ever try to help mom, like defend her? You know, like calm down, wife. You're like, come on, man, you can't be talking to your mother like that. Relax now. Give her a break. She freeze like this. She put her head down. She come back up. She said, yeah, but everybody has a temper. Did Andre ever intervene and try to help mom? Yes. Andre used to defend mom. Yes, he was good to mom, is what she said. So she's helping to paint that picture. She goes off on mom like an employee, not even like a mother. He would step in. Hence the reason he felt he owed to call her and say, hey, I know it's messed up and terrible, but I prefer you hear all this from me before we go to court. You know me, the lover. I'm sorry it went this way, but this is what happened. That's a human side of him. So his attorneys are saying, yes, this is a part of the grieving process. And he is being honest about what he did and all this other stuff. And he is concerned for the mom as he's always been. He was never an animal. So the mom used to come down. Andreen used to come down hard on the mom because she worked for Andreen. They had 3 facilities. They were in the process of setting up the fourth one. Both were investors in these businesses. Somebody I talked about, Reggae Girl Bento says, SouFlo, remember that divorce was in the making. Chill out, relax, just listen. Matter of fact, since you addressed that, I know why you throw me off, so I'm going to say this. Another lady who was the tax lady who did their taxes for their businesses and whatever, she was their tax lady for over 5 years. And she said at one point, Andreen did come to her and say, yeah, it's time to take his name off everything and whatever because they are getting a divorce. So how is it going to work? She wanted to know how is it going to work because everything was in both of them name. The tax lady. So everything was in both of their name. How is it going to work? The same tax lady that did their taxes for years had no idea about no new business, LLC, whatever that she was setting up. She went to somebody else to do that. Why? Because under law, if Andre ever went to the tax people that do their taxes, they would have to share all that information with him as well, right? Because he's on all those businesses. But she said he never did. He left all that financial part of stuff to her. That's to show you what? The man wasn't running down the money. He was working, using his own money to invest in it and say, wifey, run with it. Just make sure a tour is set up in it in case nothing happened to you. Then me dead if you back it up and whatever. But that's a your thing. I'm not in the healthcare field something. I'm doing my military thing here. But I'm gonna take my military money and put it over here. And we should have a good, you understand? All right. They, over the years, remember they've been married for 9 years. Over the years, they fell out. At one point, they were looking forward to a divorce. But by the end of the year, they have made up, took divorce off the table. Then came the talk about extra man. Wait. Process set up the fourth one. Both were investors in these businesses. Auburn, Andreen's first love. I think the man named Auburn or whatever I'm named. The way how she said it, I couldn't catch him name exactly. But is a man what she have a Jamaica, right? Now people are like, she never did nothing. She just saw an old flame out a road and she said hi, and you know them meet each other in the road and haven't seen you in a long time, have a conversation like that, and then they went their separate ways, but somebody seen it and run go tell psycho husband, and psycho husband kill her feet when him reach a foreign. That's how it was reported first. She and the man of Jamaica did have a full-blown relationship. And she used to take regular trips to Jamaica to go spend time with him. That's her first love, according to. Because I don't want the man to sit down somewhere and talk about Jesus Christ, they like, because that girl never comes to me yet. One day we meet in our road. I'm telling you what came out in court. Okay? Her sister said to the judge, or not to the judge, but to the person who was cross-examining her, yeah, Aubrey, that's Andreen's first love. Were you aware that Andreen had rekindled stuff with him? And they were planning a life together and all these things? Can you repeat that question again? Were you aware that Andreen was having an affair with the guy in Jamaica? Her first love, Aubrey, however. I found out all this because of what's going on now, was her answer. So yes, but me find out because of all this. So Andreen was going back and forth to Jamaica to be with her first love. All fire stick catch flame. Right there, his attorneys win. Again, they have painted a picture of deception, betrayal, stealing, unfaithfulness, that's a lot for a man to deal with. What this would look like is this. So you're setting up life with a next man, moving assets that we've built together into something when we can't touch, planning to be with this next guy. It get deeper. Wait. The picture painted here was that she was tired of him and she was setting herself up to move on with this old flame. Page 5, 8 page 12. The sister testified that she witnessed seeing Andrine curse Andre out. Dirty in patois, and get up in him face. Okay? This is the sister when me say, all right, when she take the stand, it done now. For her to say, thank you, Stash. Thank you. And thank you for being a woman and not being overly emotional and talk about, well, regardless of what, SouFlo, there's nothing justifies him killing her. Well, we know that, man. That's cliche. That's cliche. We tell man walk away all the time. But we also tell the woman them say someone do some friggery sometime, some whole heap of figure compile and feel like say every man is going to roll on it the same way. And just by chance, you frig around with one of them who decides say, no, go so. That's just like the promoter and Jack man. Him rob a whole heap of people and the artists them just take it as some and frig it. Me I go back to Jamaica. Here I'm not deal with you again. Jack said, no, fuck that. I tab out your rotted belly out here today. I bet you're not rob nobody else around here. You can do it to them and you not do it to me. Some people handle stuff differently. Don't think you're going to get the same response from everybody. See? All right. The sister testified that she saw her. I've witnessed it. Seeing her curse him out dirty, get up in him face. That corroborates his story, man. Him say, him confront her about, yo, I just find out about your open business and moving assets. So I steal from what we put together. And when I confronted her, she started bare nasty word and bad word and all that. We got to the house, the fight kept going, the argument kept going. She getting up in my face and all that. I went outside, I tried to walk it out. I came back in, she jumped on it again. It seems like what? What's the picture that's painted there? The picture that's painted there is that she was very much in control, or thought she was, right? And she wasn't afraid of him in any way. And you know, sometimes when you catch some people that do something, them start cuss you, you know. Woman don't know that. When you catch the man that cheat, him not start cuss you. The fuck you searching my phone for? Yeah, but that's besides the point. The girl in the red G-string on the phone. That's who you need to address. You don't need to be in my phone though. Yeah, but me in there, me find something where me shouldn't find. So me could talk about it. You see what I'm saying? That's the picture that these lawyers are, me tell you, you know, and you know, you have some good money and you get a team of lawyers around you, you can almost beat anything. Not that he's gonna walk free, but like I said before, for those who are tuning in late, the goal is to take life without possibility off the table and take the death penalty off the table. So the sister's testimony there, sir, this establishes that Andrine is like that. Also, it establishes that Andre was loved and respected by the family. He used to even step in and shield their mom from his wife, his overly aggressive wife. She said Andrine would fight him even though he said, you're not strong enough to fight me. I'm a man. You can't fight me. You're not strong enough. This didn't help. This wouldn't stop her from trying. That's when she said, yeah, but everyone has a temper. I said, Jesus Christ. Why? Why? You know your sister here try to make she look good and you know style up her name because she dead and can't talk for herself. But Everyone has a temper. Wrong time to say that. Because the attorney that was questioning her, when she said everyone has a temper, he was like, okay. So noted. He wanted them to know the truth because he didn't want them to learn it in court. Well, they were going to learn it in court anyways, regardless. That's my opinion. Back to what was said. The sister could not testify with confidence to me because they all knew that she was fleecing that man, and it came back to bite her in the ass. At this point, so far, this is what I had come to, the conclusion that I had come to. You know, sometime, and some people have been through this and they can attest, the whole family knows that your mate is cheating on you, you know. So anytime you go over to them, so, and talk and say, but I'm not carrying this. Come in, hi girl, yeah, and them talk to you all the time. Them know you as wifey and everything, but them know say them have other woman too. Same thing, vice versa. Them know say she have our next man and stuff, cause the talk was out there already. But it turned around and backfired. The supervisor of the pre-trial procedures, Freddie, he testified next. People were asking, why is the sister not sitting up straight and testifying with confidence? And I said, you have to understand the dynamics of this. I'm not saying nothing more. I'm saying it now. You have to understand the dynamics of this. Remember, you know, Andre father, Beachy Stout, you know, money long, you know. Big man that a Jamaica with a whole heap of influence and a lot of dough. Remember, 1 million MP put on him wife head, according to the testimony from the person who hired the next person to carry out the killing of Tanya. So I know nothing for we put 1 million on your head when you go back to Jamaica, my girl, and you sink, my son. You understand? So that could be all that played into factor as well. In other words, if you get up there and sink him, I can make family members of yours in Jamaica disappear. And you can't take that out of context. You could see fear on her. You could see intimidation on her. She spoke of Andre, the man who's accused of killing his sister, with great respect in front of him on the stand. So the supervisor of the pretrial proceedings, Freddie, him testified. And then Jackie Brockman, next, tax lady. She corroborates his story as to why he was upset that day. He just found out things, she said. He hugged the tax lady before they left, and she said she thought that was weird because they were just arguing. And you know, she was like, he was like standoffish, and but I did most of my talking to her anyways because I've been doing their taxes for years, and usually, you know, I speak to her most anyways because she's the one that handles all that. But when they got up to leave, he hugged me. And I thought, that was weird. Why is he hugging me? We've never had that kind of a relationship, she said. It's 6 pages. We're on page 6. Hold on. They asked the tax lady, describe his mood that day. Did you see the daughter? The tax lady says, I didn't see her, but other people at the facility said they saw her. I guess she stayed out in the waiting area with whoever else came with them or whatever. But Andre and Andrine came into the office, and I was, you know, I'm busy. It's tax season. I'm working on other people's stuff. I'm now dealing with theirs. Then I got to move to another client or whatever. Describe how he was. She said he seemed distant, stern, passive. His attorney said, I want you to think about the words you just said. He seemed distant, stern, passive. One thing you never said was that he seemed argumentative. The tax lady said she'd been doing their taxes for 5 years or so. She didn't see any documents that indicated that Andreen was setting up any business on her own without Andre, which means, and they have document that she was, which means she did it somewhere else. She was careful enough to not do it at the same facility where all their other taxes were done, right? This one, you know, death row off the table, life without the possibility off the table, his lawyer's goals. Boom. Oh, what tangled web we weave. I see them when I write it down, you know, this is the ending. Oh, what tangled web we weave. When first we practice to deceive, right? Okay. Her good friend, her bestie, takes the stand. White woman. Bestie takes the stand. How good do you know her? I've known her since 29, 20 something. Whatever. We work out together almost every day. We talk every single day. We go places together. I'm the person she confides in, tells everything. So they ask her, understand. So you are aware that they were having problems in a relationship for years? She said yes. Andreen told you all this? She said yes. What did Andreen tell you about them having arguments and stuff? She said that Andre would often get physical with her. All right, boom. That part there. Watch this. Were you aware of her extramarital affair? She said yes. Were you aware that Andreen was cheating on Andre? Yes. How often did Andreen go to Jamaica to see this guy? What's his name? Aubrey, whatever, her old flame, first love. She made quite a few trips to see the other man. She was also assisting in getting him a green card. Bing! She was also assisting with getting him a green card to come live in the US, but it didn't fall through yet. She said she wished that Andre would just go ahead and cheat, have an affair, so she can find out, so she could have a reason to bust out that she has rekindled her flame with her old guy, her first love, and that would be her exit out of this marriage. But Andre wasn't cheating and she couldn't catch him at do nothing. Wow. Y'all don't understand how powerful that is? Here's a woman, right, that is married, right, that's taking assets that we've built together and diverting it into another account without my name on it, so I won't find out about these assets, right? And then she's telling her bestie that, man, I pray that he cheat. I want him cheat. I want him to go cheat so I could catch him, so I could find out, so I could then have an excuse to bust out that I've been doing my thing. So we even. Now let's end this relationship and go our separate ways. He asked her, did you say anything to her about her having this extra affair? The bestie said, white woman. She says, yes, I told her on several occasions that she's playing with fire and she needs to stop. Yeah. This does not justify what happened to her in any way. This is me, SouFlo, saying this now for me. It still don't justify her getting killed and being buried way out of woy and wild animal come dig up her bones and mix them up with cow bone, and that's how she was found. All that doesn't justify all that. I still tell men to walk away. Life gets greater later. Don't interrupt your life with threats of going to prison and you have to go through court case. There's a lot of women out here that are progressive and productive and their minds are not like that. You yourself might have to just find time to be with yourself and fix you and all your flaws, and then you will attract a better woman than the one that you had before. But this level of deception is deep. We're in a marriage. You're diverting our assets. I'm working my ass off. I'm putting my money into this. We're building something. I thought we were going somewhere. Yeah, me know we fight. Me call your name, but you call me names too. It sounds sad to say. I put my hands on you sometimes, but you do the same too. And you're not left. So you have plan. You have man. All these trips, and the bestie said, so Andre would go on these missions with the military, and she was like, yeah, and those were good times for Andreen to take a trip to Jamaica to go see our man. Oh, what tangled web we weave. When first we practice to deceive. God no. Remember me telling you, I said a lot of the times a man will murder a woman, not because oh I'm find out about her next man. Man could walk away sometimes from that like, me did done with you anyway because you weren't being wife to me. But when a man find out stuff like, yo, the man that did a prance in your bed, brother, he knows what inside of your house look like, dog. Him did in there with your picnic them in there when them asleep, she sneak him in. That man that bust juice pan your sheet, them already. Right which part you lay your head. The same pillow where you use lay down for sleep, him use that pillow there fully and cock it up under her body if you position her properly. For remote her hole good. Him going to the bathroom, when him a wash him hood, it gets this deep, people. When him a wash him hood in the sink, when him done, him wipe off him body in a your face towel and hang it up back neat. You come home from hard work, come wipe your face in a towel after you wash off your face. You want kill a girl. And them something there. It's the level of deception, and his lawyers, they knocked that shit out the park yesterday. Today, it starts at 10 a.m. and I'll be there because I want to see what else come out of this. We'll be following this, so stay tuned. All right. Big up on yourself, manners and respect. And if you see me over there, that's how I'm SouFlo and these things. Right before it start, I put the link out today. Right before it start, I'll put the link out again. So those of you who are subscribed, but you're not hitting the bell to be notified, you don't know what I go on. Thank you for tuning in this morning anyways, and for tuning in every morning for those who do tune in. Big up to the people who have their membership to this channel, because you can see they can sit down and talk this out with each other and these kind of things while everybody else watch from the outside. My apologies to the people who are in places that can't get membership because it's just not available through YouTube, but I hope YouTube fix that up soon too, right? With that said, manners and respect. Stop with the deception. Anything done in the dark will come to light. When you play games and skin your teeth and think nothing now gonna catch you, it normally catches you in the worst friggin' way possible. Me a big man. Me they hurt long enough to know this. That's why me not play no games no more. Pick me something, stay and pick me something. I've been through my learning. I done got hit and suffered. Me good. Have a wonderful day. Tune in tomorrow morning. God spare our life. We'll be right here to talk about day 2 of this trial. I'm out. Peace.